Alright, let's get started. Got a couple of people in here. Got everything booted up. Everything's live. Let's see how this goes. It's not a test stream, but it's kind of a test stream. So I've never done like quote unquote serious dev, I guess, for a stream. This is kind of serious. So we'll see how this goes. Should be pretty chill though. Just going to obviously make this look like not trash. That's the goal, at least. Let's move this camera a little bit. I guess it's in focus, yeah. About as good as it's gonna get. That's a little bit better. Got a bunch of my mess in the back, but I'll have to do. So yeah, obviously, this is the search page, and it looks like hot trash right now. So we're gonna make it look like less hot trash. Okay. Didn't remember that crashing. So first, I actually forgot to do something, which is not shocking at all if you know me. We need to install Atom, because that is by far the best development environment.
Not great music.
So we're gonna grab Atom real quick, because that was just something dumb that I forgot to do before stream. I remembered to download every single other dependency except for my IDE. So go me. By the way, for some reason, Streamlabs completely reset all of my audio settings. So if something's too loud or not like loud enough, let me know. Let's see, blah, 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 blah. Oh, this should be easy then. Classic. And then as soon as we've got Atom, we can actually get started with like the fun actual coding stuff. Uh-oh. Is stream dying? I'm kind of choking on, I guess, everything right now. I think I need to change out my processor on my streaming PC, but hopefully it'll survive. I'm going to run a quick ad so that people don't get pre-rolls, because those are annoying. So I will be right back. It's installing stuff anyways. Alright, should all be back from the abs. The abs? Should be all back from the ads. And this is just about done. There we go. Alright, let's launch Atom. Well, I always forget how long Atom takes to boot up. Let's get our back ends back running. Actually, I think we're gonna mainly do front end dev anyway, so I'll just keep the back end off. Oh, come on now. Why is this taking as long as it is? And this sure is taking forever. There we go. Now I bet it's going to open it a second time. I'm betting it is. Alright, I'm just going to put my Twitch feed up here on my phone. The most ghetto way to do it ever. And save a little bit of CPU, exiting all of this fun stuff. Alright, Atom is finally open. We don't need that. Let's add our project folder and we should be good to go. So we're going to open new front end as its own project folder. I'll do it that way. Alright, now we're golden. So we're mainly going to be messing with app.js today, I believe, and we're going to be messing with, no, I don't need to save that. Now my dashboard on my phone isn't working. Let me make sure chat's at least working. Apparently chat is not working. Oh, this is annoying. What a weird thing to not work. Okay. Let's check this out. Yeah, now it's working. All right, we've made progress. So let me start the recording real quick, because the VODs will be going up on YouTube at some point. Probably end up getting taken down anyways, but I might as well put them up, right? So YouTube is hot trash. All right, let's start the recording. We'll get going. So maybe not. Oh, I deleted the folder that's supposed to be outputting to. Cool. Is it really gonna make me restart the stream? No, it's not. Okay, well, I guess we won't upload this one. All right, cool. So let's get started. So what we're working with right now is the most hot trash looking page ever, and it's also the most important page for this project. So this is the search page. This is going to be the page that you actually run all of the queries through. So I guess search page isn't a very good name for it. So this is where you're going to type the URL, you're going to choose the location of the endpoint that you're going to route your request through. If you have a custom user agent, then you're going to input it here, and then you're going to input your host string here if you have a custom host string. So it looks like hot trash right now because it's barely functional, but that's going to be what we're working on. So let's throw this. Now we'll have that full screen. Don't need this to be as big as it is, but we need to have it on screen. There we go. So we've got app.js and then app.css. I'm going to be working with the mobile version right now. Can I not open both in 2 different tabs? Hello? I should be able to open both. Why is it not? There we go. All right. So first off, I don't love that it says search page. All right, so this is going to be what we're dealing with right here. Go ahead and close down these functions. And let's go ahead and change search page to something like issue request, create request, something like that. Sketchy, let's just call it sketchy request. So it's not really a search, right? So I wonder if that automatically rebooted my front end terminal or not. We can exit this one. Let's see if it did. Oh, that already shut down. Let's start our front end daemon back up and to make sure that that actually updated the page. Yeah, sketchy request. It's saying that's already running, that's interesting. Okay. Apparently I've got a hanging process somewhere. Oh, I've got 2 tabs open, that's what it is. Yeah, alright, we're good. Alright, so we've got it updating every time we change the HTML, or it should be at least. We'll see if that actually happens. So, I'm kind of thinking I want the URL to cross the entire screen. The location doesn't really need to, so I think I'm going to shrink down the location and maybe put it on the same line as the URL. Maybe, I don't know. So the URL is in the, yeah, it's in this field right here, right here. And it's the URL-field class. Is this in the media? Shouldn't be. It is. All right. So we're gonna do. Oh my gosh, my dog just scared the hell out of me. URL-field. Let's do. I don't know if it's before. Let's try before. And we need to insert a new line. Is that the way we should do it? I don't really know. I'm not great with the... So basically what we're trying to do is I want to put the label on the next line. Because right now it kind of looks like ship, just like right next to it. So HTML label next line. I don't know how to add a line break. Do you literally just add a line break after it? That'd be very convenient. That shouldn't have changed. Let's see how it looks like that. I don't know if it. So that was an a CSS change, so it or an HTML change, so it should have done something. Yeah, that actually did it. Okay. So basically, what I want to do is stick all of these in a Flex container and put the URL and the location in one container side by side and scale URL a bit larger than the location, because the location literally just contains like cities and there's all of this white space right here. So there's really no point in wasting an entire line on the location. So we're gonna add a line break after, let's see, the locations label. We're gonna do that first, and then we're gonna throw let's just do, I don't know. So can you just denote it as two different classes? So what we would want to do is .rel-field, and what is that one? Location-field? Location. This needs to be in its own. Do the labels need to be? I guess the labels do definitely need to be in the same class. So those two are in the same class. These two need to be in the same class. Put those two in the same class, and that's locations menu. This looks sloppy as hell, but what is it? Text align is flex. What am I doing? Being big dumb right now. Don't really know why these are indented, but I'm gonna indent it just because I feel like I need to. So we got the URL field class, the locations menu class, dumbing out on Flex right now. Display, duh. Display, Flex. Then URL field is going to be justified content. I'm just completely dumbing out on my CSS right now. That's Flex. So we want this to be URL field. This is probably not even remotely right, and I'm sure somebody will tell me that I'm a moron for trying to do it this way, but they'll be all right. Like start, and then locations menu is flex ends. So let's see if this is even remotely going to work. I tend to doubt it, but we'll see. I'm just gonna go ahead and restart. Sometimes it refreshes the CSS on the page and sometimes it doesn't. I figured I might as well just go ahead and restart it. Maybe? Ooh, boy, this is taking a second. How's everybody doing? Chat's dead right now. Big dead. Ooh, that broke big time. Big yikes. Alright, so I think that's the labels that probably need to be taken out of the class, which is gonna break things, but that'll be alright. We're gonna go ahead and take the labels out of the class. Like I said, if you guys are looking for expert web dev magician shit, this is the wrong stream. All two of you in chat right now. Alright, so that looks better. Let's see if we've got some sizing that's a problem. Yeah, so width 90% needs to be taken out there. Same thing here. Okay. So that isn't the right size for sure. So these both need to be on the same.
Take you there.
That's interesting. They both need to be on the same line. I don't really know what. Maybe I need to explicitly state in both that they're both in flex, maybe?
After the Rain by Rex Lambo.
I'm still not super uber familiar with flex and all of the fun stuff that's involved in flex.
Night Out by Liquid.
So I didn't do it. I think they both need. Do they both need to be in the same class in order for this to work? So do I need to make basically a container class? Pretty sure that's what I need to do. We're gonna try that.
Lovely by Amin Maxwell.
So class name. I'm just gonna call it Flexbox1 for starters. And we're gonna end
Bad
it
Love by Noel.
here. So then everything should be contained in that div.
I'm Just Good by Joni Grimes.
Now we should be able to just go Flexbox1 display flex. Now everything should be in its own flex container. Let's see how that worked. At least my understanding of flex, that should work. Hell yeah, it did. Alright, so now we need to look at its flex scale, I think. scale.
Call me by Liquid.
I could just do it. Let's see. Complete guide to Flexbox. That looks like what we need.
I don't need you to say anything by Legend.
So we basically want URL to stretch out a fair bit, and then location can be just somewhere on the right end. It's not going to look just incredibly pretty, but it's going to be a start.
Dreamland by Jonas Schmidt.
All right, we got order. Don't need to worry about that. So we want flex grow, I think.
I Miss You by Lovely.
So we want URL field to
Funky Souls by Amaria.
flex grow. Let's start with 3. And then locations menu will state explicitly flex grow and set it at, let's do 1.
Polaroid by Extends.
Let's see how that looks. Or if it even works. Wow. That looks like super not horrible. All right, so we want to take the labels out and put them above, I think is how I want to do it. And I don't really know exactly how to do that, honestly.
Dolce Vita by Payrouse.
Because there should already be a line break after them. Yeah, there is. So we could always just take them out of the flex box, but I don't
Birds by
know how well it's going to
Scandinavians.
work. But I'm a big supporter of just trying shit out. So that's what we're going to do.
Fantasy by Declan DP.
We'll just take them both out of the div and see how badly that doesn't work. I guarantee you it's not going to work, but it's at least a cute thought. See how
Lioness
broken this
Instrumental by
is. Yeah,
Dave
pretty
Harris.
broken. That's about what I expected. Oh, and these just like merge. That's interesting. So this starts right here. Oh, that's
Weather by
interesting.
Wade.
Oh, because there's no boundaries transparent. So let's see if we can change this to flex shrink, and maybe it'll just get.
Be the One. Feet. An egg.
I don't know if that's how that works. I tend to doubt that's how that works, but we'll see. Mitch, please deadlift me and then throw me over your knee in the name of justice. That's about what I've grown to expect in chat, honestly. How's it going? Is that Eric HTP? Alright, so that didn't work.
Atlantis
I'm
by
gonna go ahead and assume that's
Scandinavians.
Blake. No, it's definitely not Blake.
Good Morning by Amin Maxwell.
Alright, let's see. So first we need to figure out how to separate these two. So let's get rid of border color transparent on
Dream
both.
by Brave Lion.
That way we can at least see where the borders are at. Let's save. May not have restart.
Tropical Traveler by Dell.
Let's go ahead and restart Yarn. Yarn is super weird about when it decides to restart and when it's not. So I got this Facebook account. What?
Still Awake by
Do I even
Ghost
want to
Rider.
know? Got this Facebook account. Just assuming you don't want to know.
Hot Coffee by Ghost Drifter.
Wow, that didn't get rid of. That's weird. That for sure should have gotten, oh, border none.
The things that keep us
Oh.
here by Scott Buckley.
I get it now. Sorry, big dumb. I actually don't get, I think it's just because people realize that I'm a moron, that I don't get those, like, please hack this Facebook account for me things.
Keddy by Lockspeeds.
Anymore. I used to get them every once in a while. Border. I'm just gonna make it black. And 1px.
Mosaic by Lahar.
I used to get them relatively frequently, back when people didn't realize that I wasn't some elite hacker, or like some people, I guess, didn't realize it. That didn't work.
No Prayers by Pokey DJ.
So I get them every once in a while, and it was mainly friends who thought that that's what hackers all do.
Spiral by KV.
I'm being big dumb here. And it's actually really nice to have friends who think that's what you do,
Coming Home by
because it's
Liquid
a
and
lot
Phoenix.
less boring than what my actual job is. Okay, that's what we need. Watercolor. Black.
Fog by Dizarro.
Cool. I guess we can keep that. Yeah, so whatever friends would think that, I'd be like, yeah, that's totally what I do.
River by Music by
I
Aiden.
hack Chinese people's Facebooks. And then when they find out what I actually do, they're just like, oh wow, you should have just kind of let me stick with my misconceptions.
First Class by Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean the thrill is pretty satisfying, and like, I guess working on big stuff is a lot of fun. So like when you're working on a big project, I guess kind of that could be
Snowfall by
incredibly
Scott Buckley.
impactful. That's awesome. But most of it is just so menial, and like the day-to-day is just a lot more boring than people would expect. Or at least I guess they would expect if you think like,
Through My
all you
Eyes,
do is,
instrumental by Mike
you know,
Leet.
break into Facebook accounts and stuff like that. Like that sounds sexy, even though it's not in the end. So yeah, I just kind of tell friends and family that I hack into
Mexicana en la Ley
Facebook
by
accounts.
Legain.
Make InfoSec boring again. InfoSec is plenty boring. We just get on Twitter and act like it's not. It's absolutely silly.
Let You Go, instrumental by Spectrum.
Oh, this is annoying. So I guess we'll just put every
City Light by
individual
Artificial
thing
Music.
in its own div, maybe? I have found great success in just adding divs in places. Last name equals.
Mary Bay by Ghost Drifter.
That crowd is fantastic. Huge fan. They're usually the account that just says shit that I've been thinking for a while, and I'm too not anonymous
Mrs.
to actually say
Cesara by
it.
Lockspeeds.
This is gonna be URL field container.
Sunset Tree by Amin Maxwell.
We don't need a line break after URL field anymore. And we can throw
Easily by Joni
this
Grimes.
label in it. I just guarantee this is not gonna work. But we're gonna give her a good old try.
We Are Here by Declan
Ooh.
DP.
Yikes. Wonder how that happened. It's a fucked up button. Are you one of the Thug Crowd folks? I don't think I follow any of their other Twitch accounts. I think I just follow the main. Might be wrong on that though. Fuse, why is your music changing every 5 seconds? Shouldn't be. Oh yeah, Puppy's here. I have no idea why it would be doing that, because I've got this open. That definitely shouldn't be changing every 5 seconds. That's weird. In the Matrix chat, but not very active. I like you and all of them. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I'm listening to my own separate music at the moment. So I haven't been listening to see if the music's been changing every 5 seconds. If it is, apologies. Oh, that's why. /dev. Now we should work. By the way, obviously this is linked. Oh, that worked? Question mark? Oh. Alright, so let's throw location into the same thing. Class name equals location menu. So locations or locations menu? Menu. So I'll need this. Completely forgot that they had a matrix. Throw that in here. Let's see how that looks. Ooh, we broke something. That figured. Is the music still changing in a weird way? Okay, so compiled. Alright, so we have the containers working. So I guess instead of, shouldn't be super hard. We'll take all of the flex stuff out. Zero field fonts. Justify content flex start. Dope, stable. Alright, cool. Cool. And then same thing for locations, menu, fonts. How's life been, Mark? Flex ends. Flex shrink 1. That theoretically should work. I say theoretically so that you guys can't give me shit for being wrong about it. How's Verona treating me and my lifestyle? Oh man, that's a loaded question. So I went on vacation and it was doable. We stayed inside the condo 99% of the time. The only time that we went out was to get on a rental pontoon boat and kind of drive that around the Gulf. And that was doable. I mean, you know, we took disinfectant on the boat, sprayed it down, made sure that everything was cool and run-free, and had a blast there. While we were rolling around, there are a couple of restaurants that are like right on the Gulf. You just park the pontoon boat and the little, whatever you call it, the dock or whatever. And you know, you walk into the restaurant. And we checked out 2 of them and they were completely packed to the brim. Like, absolutely ridiculous. So, you know, that was the day that they announced that Florida had like 15,000 infections in one day. We were like, cool. So that sucked. Kind of made us lose all faith in humanity and made us realize that we kind of had to handle our own shit, which it sucks because you kind of feel like just constantly under threat, but you know, we at least got to vacay and got to relax a little bit. We did stay away from everybody, stayed masked up when we had to go out, things like that. It just kind of sucked. Aside from that, everything's boring. I'm just doing the same shit like every single day. So, you know, it's just kind of getting old, and it's not creating, I wouldn't say it's like a constant anxiety, it's just like a constant irritation at the situation that we're in. And it borders on like more aggressive irritation whenever you realize how stupid, I guess, humanity in general is being, but especially leadership. So I guess it's just kind of like a heightened sense of irritation. Moved, quarantine ends tomorrow, new job starts this sorta, Thursday sorta, last Mel tour, pumped to work towards InfoSec life, also pumped to be around Marines. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of change in the middle of a weird time. That's awesome, man. Congrats. March, before we really knew about the upcoming corona situation, I was in Boston standing next to people in line for a dispensary. Whew. Yeah, I've got a friend who went to New York, and it was after New York, I guess, got quote-unquote better. They are objectively better than they were. But he went to New York, and I was like, dude, like, why? He was like, I just want to, like, take a trip, see how, like, what it's like post-Rona. And I was like, it's not post-Rona. Like, nothing's changed. It's still Rona. So I was pretty irritated about that. It's just like, don't, why go somewhere that you don't like objectively need to go to? Like, there's no point in that. But yeah, I mean, obviously if it was pre-Rona, you know, you didn't really have much of a choice there. I was seeing live streams from Louis Rossman of Times Square, and it was pretty empty. I don't know how it is now. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't trust shit right now. You know, like, obviously they're better than they used to be, which is fantastic, obviously. Okay, so we just need to get this to stretch. So we're gonna make the URL field. I'm gonna change the width to 100%. Let's make it 90%. See what that looks like. Yeah, that's a lot better. I mean, it's still ugly, but it's better. So this can get a little bit bigger. Eventually everything's gonna be squared off too. Like location, like all of this shit is not squared, and it's ugly as all get out. We're making progress, guys. Just relax. Yeah, I just don't. I've gotten to the point now where everybody's talking about like, oh, when we can go back to traveling and like when we can do this, and I'm like, I'm really just objectively super stir crazy, and I understand the need to go back to traveling, but man, I don't think I'm gonna want to travel for a long time. Like even after Corona's done, I don't want to travel and like not travel in the same way I used to, I guess is the best way to put it. And it's just like, I don't. Everybody's just talking about when things go back to normal, and that A supposes that things are going to go back to normal, period, and within like any kind of relatively good time frame, and B, it's just kind of like jumping over a very long process that can really change the way you see things, you know. Let's change this back to grow and see if that helps. No, I just shrunk down that. Okay, so that's the right size. Let's see what I want to do with this. So the location, I guess I could just stretch the field and see how that looks. I'm just so not a designer. I know you guys are shocked at that. But, oops. See how that looks. That looks a little better, but it's still ugly. Yeah, I mean, how are y'all dealing with it? I mean, honestly, I've managed to push a lot of things to going back to normal. Like, I'm going back to the gym, and not feeling as guilty as I did about it. Like, in the beginning, I was like, holy shit, like, this seems like a big risk just to go back to the gym when, like, I had a place in my backyard to work out, but I just wasn't doing it. So, I mean, I started to feel a little bit guilty, and then I just kind of saw it like, I mean, I've got to do something. You know, it's going to really affect my health if I don't work out. And I felt like it was almost preparation to get Verona at some point. Summer bod is canceled. Honestly, I'm on like continuous bulk mode anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much for me. All right, I'm gonna run an ad real quick and go grab some water. BRB. Rowdy vids make me feel like I'm lifting. He's had me blocked for a while now, so I haven't seen any of his vids. No gym since February. Oh, that sucks. I thought about getting into running. Honestly, when Rona first started, I was like, all right, look, it's a disease or illness or what, I don't know what the like correct term for it is. It's something that affects your breathing, and I'm going to have to exercise. You know, like I can't not exercise. It's just a bad idea for my general health. It's like I should probably work cardio back in. I think I ran like twice. I was like, no, this isn't it. I've been powerlifting for too long to go back. That's just not gonna happen. All right, so let's make this look less shit. There's so many things that look bad. Like the fact that the URL and sketchy request are like so close together, it's just not centered at all. So I might make both of these the same relative size. So, and then center them. So that would be, let's move the containers up next to each other just for organization's sake. So we're gonna make these both 2s. Let's make them both 3s and see what that looks like. I was never at your lifting level. I was always lifting to supplement running. That's fair, and honestly, I enjoy lifting. That looks less horrible. still want to center this on that gap right there. So I think this is perfectly centered here on the page, the way I've got it set up. Look, I guess. So that ends at the end of the line. That ends at the, yeah, so that's perfectly centered. Unless the padding is off. No, padding's not off. So that's perfectly centered there. I just need to move SketchyReq this over just a bit, because I kind of want, honestly, I might just get rid of that. I don't really know how I'm going to do it, but that being off-centered from that is bothering me. These two fields being two different sizes is bothering me. So that we can change, I guess. The URL field, let me make the height slightly bigger. How am I going to scale this? It just bothers me that those two are the like different sizes. Like, it shouldn't bother me, but it does. So this bar or this field is slightly smaller, or at least it looks like it's slightly smaller than the other one. So let me get rid of the borders again. Border, none. I don't know if I need to add important in there or not. Border, I can type. Yeah, let me, like I said, let me know if any of the audio is jacked up, because for some reason Streamlabs just completely reset all of my audio. Honestly, I wish I were more into cardio. I mean, it's... Those look... Oh, see, now this one looks smaller. What the hell? Oh, that's so irritating. It's so weird that the music was off, or like weird. Maybe I'm just looking at this wrong, but I swear those two fields are two different sizes. They shouldn't be. Okay, that is not a very significant problem. So I'm trying to figure out if I want, do I want user agent and host on the same line in the same way that these two are? I feel like I do. See, like, the host string, at least in my experience, has not been uber long. The user agent string can get pretty lengthy. So I might just want to plop these on two different lines, or keep these on two different lines, put a line break after the labels, and then I'll probably shrink down the host line a fair bit, and honestly probably the user agent line. And then I want to add a tick box for the user agent and the host to just use a default user agent and host. That way, like, if you don't feel like putting it in, it just picks like a default one. So let's add the line breaks on user agent and host labels. Oh, so these aren't even labels. Okay, so let's make those well, maybe not. Yeah, we do, because we want it to be centered. So label HTML4 equals this is just going to be UA. We'll make that the ID, and then that's that. Label. ID equals, what is it, UA? And same thing here. host. I don't think it'll really matter, and this is probably the slower way to do it unless I decide to throw these all into flex containers. And then this ID is host. There we go. Alright, so let's put line breaks after that. Alright, let's see if that broke anything. My luck, it probably did. Back to the splash page. It didn't break anything. And it looks better. Still shit, but better. So those two being next to each other definitely looks better. I think the user agent and the host fields can be shrunk down. Because, let's look up a user agent string example. List of user agent strings. That's what we're looking for. Let's just do Microsoft Windows user agents. So let's take just a generic one. We'll throw it in here. So realistically, we can shrink this a fair bit. So let's go ahead and do that. So that's the user agent field. We're gonna make this width 80%. And we'll do the same thing for the host field. Honestly, we can probably shrink that one down even more. I'm gonna make that 70%, see how it looks. I don't know if I wanna make them the same size or not. Yeah, see, that looks close. Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks better. It's not quite there. And I'm so bad at design that I don't know exactly what is, like, it's not just how to do it, because how to do it I don't have any clue either. But I'm not entirely sure about what would even make this look better. Like, for one thing, user agent is not squared with this gap right here, and that bothers me. That's a centering problem, so they probably make, it's not, okay, I just realized, that's not gonna be centered on that gap unless we make this the exact same width, because otherwise it won't be centered on this field. So we can shrink down the size of the URL in the location field, which honestly we could do pretty easily, because this still has tons of white space here. Let's see. So do we want to shrink down the divs? Let's shrink down the divs. Let's grow. Do 2, and let's see how that looks. I just wish I were more like artsy and knew design better than I do. But here I am. My dashboard closed. See how that looks. It didn't update. Is that not supposed to update? I should have updated. Let me restart Yarn. You know who I'm glad I'm not right now? Anybody in phone management this week. Because holy shit, those poor people. Like the amount of O days that have dropped over the last like 2 weeks, just like as an outsider watching that shit, has been ridiculous. All right, so that didn't change anything. So we're gonna shrink the fields down. Row fields, let's shrink it down to 80. Locations, shrink that down to 80. See how that looks. Oh, that's actually worse. This is irritating. So we can just increase the user agent field a little bit. And that actually should work, now that I think about it. It's still not centered, and man, it shouldn't bother me as much as it does, but boy does it. Let's see. This shouldn't be as irritating as it is, but it is. Everything to the left and left justify it. Let's see what that would look like. Text align. We move everything to the left and see what it looks like. Don't know if this is gonna help at all. Probably won't. This is about to look ugly. Oh, it actually didn't do anything. That's probably because all the labels are in their own class. Well, no, I mean, it shouldn't be it, right? Need to restart Yarn again? Let's try that. By the way, don't know how many of you are actively listening, but these streams are going, so I'm going to release the schedule every week for these streams, the dev streams for SketchyReq. I'm gonna try to do at least 3 a week. That's the goal. I might do like fun streams at the end of the week just to kind of like unwind some kind of gaming or art thing, I don't know. So I'm gonna release the schedules every week. And that's mainly just because I've kind of got a weird schedule in my life, so I can't just like, you know, up and decide the schedule too long in advance. So, you know, be looking around on Sunday for me to post the schedule, and I will have it up as the pinned tweet, and I'll hopefully be able to update every week on Twitch. I don't know exactly how that works, but it's all going to be either front end or back end dev. It's all going to be in my own development environment, so you guys can't fuck around with it too much before it's ready, before I push to prod. So sorry to anybody who thought they were going to be able to play with it before I actually release. But yeah, all of the schedules are going to be up on Sunday, hopefully around like midday, so you know when you can tune in. I'm actually going to be like relatively on my shit with these schedules, I promise. But yeah, we're aiming for like 3 to 4 dev streams a week. That's the goal. And I'm also gonna do longer streams. So those are gonna be streams where honestly my wife is working nights. So I'll be doing longer streams on those nights, probably from like 8 Central Standard Time to 12 instead of 8 to 10. Maybe a little bit later, don't really know. But yeah, those are gonna be longer streams where I'm kind of digging into some harder problems most of the time. So tune in for those. This week it's going to be, I think, Thursday, maybe Friday, and Saturday. Friday I might do a fun stream instead of just some, you know, boring coding shit that you guys watch me bang my head on. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of let the design side go. Because right now this is just, I mean, it's ugly, but I don't know how to fix this centering problem in a way that like makes it look aesthetically pleasing. I could shrink down this div right here, I guess, because this is centered on the div. It needs to move to the right relative to this gap. So I'm gonna look at like kind of design examples and base it off of that, because I don't have any original like ideas right now. But until then, we're gonna go and implement that little checkbox. So we're gonna put the checkbox by the user agent. So right next to the field. So that's input type equals so checkbox. I think that's what it is. We're going to put it by the user agent as well, or the host as well. Input type equals checkbox. Shit. Let's go and look this up, because I'm going to end up looking it up anyways, so I might as well look it up now. Oh, this failed immediately. Oh. I also need to close out input. Alright, so hopefully that fixed it. Trying to compile. There you go. Alright, gonna grab some more water and run an ad real quick while I figure out checkboxes. BRB. All right, let's get back to it. Live Step, thank you for the follow. There we go. So apparently checkboxes are not necessarily exactly like the other forms in React, which sucks. Maybe it is. All right, let's code it exactly like unchange. We're gonna pretend like it's exactly like the other forms because it very well might be. This dot handle UA def. That's how we're gonna name this. The ugliest naming convention humanly possible. Same thing here. And this is gonna be handle host. And then I do handle UA def key. This dot set state. We do UA def. Not this dot state dot UA def. And I think that's how you would do it in JavaScript. I'm still not great at JavaScript. I know you're shocked about that. I'll do that again for host. Horan, what's up? How's it going? I love that name. It's gonna be host def, this dot state dot host def. Then we go back and make sure that those are in the state. Let's go ahead and minimize all of these functions because we don't really need them right now. And log in. I'm gonna bind it real quick. This dot let's handle UA def, I think. Make sure I get that right, because that's kind of important. Doing pretty good, my dude. Got a pretty crappy beer, better than none and relaxing. The only true crappy beer is no beer. There are some truly crappy beers out there, but no beer is definitely the worst. Handle host def. I've been beerless for too long. Dot handle host def dot bind this. Same thing for this dot handle UA def equals this dot handle UA def dot bind this. Then we're going to go up and make sure that those are in fact in the state. UA def false. Let's spell it correctly. And host def also false. Cool. What kind of beer have you got, Horn? Let's see if that actually compiled. Okay, so that's the incorrect. Would it just be not? How do you do opposites in? I guess I don't have. Alright, we're just gonna go ahead and set it to e.target.value like the other ones and hope that just magically works for us. E.target.value. Let's see how that works. UA def is not defined and host def is not defined. Where? Line 116 and 117. Oh, it's because I didn't throw this in the dictionary. So these have to be passed as dictionaries and not just values to be passed into dictionaries because React is fucking weird. Some local blueberry beer. Never had a beer so tart. I'm gonna be honest, I've had a lot of people just absolutely swear by like the fruity beers. I don't like them. It was the only one that I've really tried more than once was a grapefruit beer. I just wasn't crazy about it. It wasn't really my thing. Alright, so that seems to work. So now we need to make the rendering of the fields dependent on whether or not that box is checked. That's what we're looking for. So if this box is checked, I want these fields to do something different than just be empty. So if it's checked, I think I'm just gonna fill in the boxes with, fill in the boxes with the default string. Or maybe I'll just make the boxes disappear. I don't really know. I'll try out both. So that shouldn't be super hard. I usually like fruity beers because they pair, LOL. That was fantastically done. They pair well with stuff. This stuff is going to the back of the fridge. Back of the fridge beer usually ends up being desperation beer for me. I have just one of those days. It's 5:01, and I'm looking around in the fridge and I'm like, shit, I ran out of beer. And that's the moment where I'm just like, all right, back of the fridge beer it is. And it's usually like the super light beers, or occasionally it's the fruity beer. But man, it's a sad, sad day. So maybe we can just do this. So what we really want to do here is let's just go ahead and fill in UA with this dot state dot default UA. That's how we're gonna word it or do it, I guess. And we'll make that like a, that's gonna eventually be something, I guess, that the user will be able to change. Oops. Shit. Okay, that was dumb. This dot set state. This is going to be UA is equal to this dot state dot def UA. Same thing here, but host def host. We're gonna set state of those up here. Def host. And then def UA. Terrible naming conventions here, by the way. Don't do it the way I'm doing it. Really dumb naming conventions. It's almost like you described my day perfectly, the joys of working in IT. Yeah, basically. So we're gonna make that user agent the one that we found up here, or just one of the ones that we found out here. Damn, I closed it. So that's gonna be, we're looking for user. How can I not spell today? Oh, I do have it open. Fabulous. So tablets, phones. I don't want phones. Desktop user agents. We're gonna set it just to the default Windows 10 Edge string. And the host we're gonna just set to lol. Doesn't really matter. I'm betting you for some reason that's not gonna work. But it compiled, surprisingly enough. Let's see if it does what we want it to do. Ah, shit. I think the camera just shut off. 1 second, gonna roll an ad and fix the battery on my camera.
Do you want to dance?
All right, the battery in my camera randomly died. Let's see if that works now. Fantastic. The zoom's all off, but ooh, there we go. All right, now we're golden. So let's see if these checkboxes work. It doesn't fill that. Let's see if we've got an error. Nope, no error, so just not doing what we want because I probably coded it wrong. Oh, I'm out of water again. So if those are changed and then it changes the state, okay, I think I know what I need to do, maybe. So it's just not re-rendering. It's only re-rendering the actual checkbox, which is, I mean, not unexpected necessarily. I'm just coding it incorrectly. Let's see. So we want these checkboxes to cause the text boxes. Text boxes? Text boxes. That doesn't sound right, but I know it is right. Okay, I'm just making sure the actual mic was still on. So we want the checkboxes to cause the other input fields to re-render every single time we click them. So if I click this, I want this checkbox to fill with the thing. Currently it's not. It's only re-rendering the little checkbox, which is not what we want it to do. I don't know how many times I can tell you guys exactly what's wrong and not actually fix it. So re-render on state change React. I wish I knew React better than I do, but here we are. So the way I know React though, I mean, this is causing the state to change. Right? I mean, every time I click the little thing, I don't know what I'm talking about, man. I know that's shocking. So that should definitely work for sure. So apparently that also should work the last time I tried it, but it didn't. This is one of the harder problems because I don't even know what I would search in order to figure this out. But for some reason this is not triggering a state change. Or maybe it is, and I'm just dumb. So that runs handle UA-def. Handle UA-def is right here. Maybe it's just not UA-def. Yeah, maybe that's it. Oh, this is so dumb. Not host def. This is probably wrong. Almost definitely wrong. But we'll see. It's probably not going to compile. Yep. UA-def and host def are not defined. That's not going to run either because it didn't run last time. But we can at least... What? I for sure compiled. I definitely didn't compile last time. Okay, so we've made progress. Maybe it's because I think I know what it is. Value equals this dot state dot UA. This one is value equals this dot state dot host. That sounds too simple to work, but sometimes that's the answer. That sounded like it was almost poetic, guys. Like, you gotta give me something for that. Okay. So that's not what we wanted, but that's okay. Yeah. Okay, so we need to change it back, but that's good. And the host is wrong. That's also okay. This dot state dot host. Okay, so we want this in def host. All right, so we just really need to change a couple of these. If this dot state dot UA def Horan, thanks for the sub. Pogs in chat. You're the bomb. Did I do that wrong? Probably. Just this dot set state UA this dot state dot def UA else this dot set state UA this dot state no, we just wanted to set it to an empty string. We want it to be in these brackets. Thank you for the sub, Horn. Eat a bomb. That's what we need. And we're basically just going to copy paste this because I want to save time. And throw that into there. That's what we're trying to do, guys. I almost understand what I'm doing here. This dot state dot host def I really need to start doing like actual stuff for subs. Currently there's no actual reward for subbing, just me being straight up with you. I figure if I actually want people to sub, I should have like some kind of reward for it, like emotes or I don't know. I don't even know what real Twitch streamers do for that shit, but it doesn't need to be, at least not for me. See, those are the kind of people that I want, but tons of people get really really need some kind of reward. Okay, so that, well, broke for sure. So it's actually inversed. That's weird. I just like supporting people. Yeah, see, those are good people. People just wanting to support people. let's do this. I probably am mishandling. So it should start defaulted as nothing. And it does, I think. Yeah, UADef and hostdef. Start defaulted as false. Then it switches here. Huh. Is this running like... That should work, right? And a prime sub makes it easy to do. Prime subs are amazing. Like, literally everybody's got Amazon Prime, so it just makes it so easy to support people, which is fantastic. That was a really great decision from Twitch. Benny Knott, what's up, man? Long time no see. Doing pretty well. On the tail end of the stream, about 30 minutes left. And actually have done things. It's pretty cool. It's like not super useful stuff. Got checkboxes and stuff. Benny Knott. The Twitch Prime sub. You're the bomb. Okay. Alright. I need to figure this out. But I do need more water because my voice is going like super hoarse. All right, now we're back. So, these checkboxes are acting funky. Let's refresh so I can show you what I'm talking about. Let's see. Let's go back to the login page. So it defaults correctly. And then when you set it, nothing appears. Same thing for this one. Then when you unset it, that's when this pops up. And then it disappears when you do set it. So it might be as simple as me just changing the default value to true. It's not really what I want to do. Let's try it though. Let's try doing this. It's kind of like, it's a hack, but it might like kind of tell me a little bit more about why things are the way they are. Did I save that? Yeah, I saved that. Hello? Back to the login page. Click. That's what we want. Click, click, click. Alright, it works, and I don't really care that it's a hack. Whatever. Wonder why sub notifications aren't showing up from Streamlabs. That's fun. OX536AC3896E. You just wanted me to like read that shit out. That sucks. How's it going? Alright, so we've got the checkboxes working, which is cool. I mean, that's progress, right? I think I am going to change the text centering back though, because I don't super like that. Let's see. I'm just going to call you Hex until somebody else with another Hex name comes in. How's it going, Hex? Is Hex okay? I feel like Hex is understandable. I'm not even trying to pronounce that entire string every time I chat with you. Alright, Hex will do. Where is search? Where are all my... There we go, I think. Okay, now we're here. We're gonna text align center again. Same here, because I think that kind of looks better. That way, when the boxes get checked, it pops up in the middle. Yeah, I like that better. Cool. So this gap still bothers the hell out of me. And I'm honestly probably going to chat with, I've got a friend who does graphic design stuff for like Nickelodeon. And I'm just going to be like, listen, I'm going to send you the ugliest possible website page, and I want you to tell me how to make it less horrific. I mean, first off, the color scheme is terrible. It's just like the default, not the default, but like the color scheme that I went with just because I like the color scheme of the logo. But it's horrific. I don't have like nice fonts. You know, it's functional right now. That's what I'm prideful of. And by functional, I mean like it kind of sort of works. It's functional on occasion. Which is, I mean, is progress, right? All right. So what else can we do? We've got 20 minutes left. We can attempt to make the submit button, which currently doesn't do anything, but we can attempt to make the submit button look slightly better. I can just copy the style from the home page. Currently don't have a link to go back to the home page, so that's not great. So let's go and make a link for that. And it won't be super useful like actually in practice, I guess. Okay, good. We are in the same boat, Benny Nut. No worries. I'm not going to really worry about styling these. It's just really for function anyways. Type equals submit. Class name equals, we're going to make this homepage button on click equals this dot handle homepage submit. Go home. I'm just gonna put these on 2 different lines. I don't think it really matters. We're gonna copy that function name, go up here and do all of the things with the function. See how I did it? Handle login, because it's essentially just going to do the same thing. because it's just changing the state of the page. This dot set state, just for clarity's sake, I'm going to change logged in, not this dot state dot logged in. Then we're going to do this dot set state page. What is it? Home. It's a default page. Slash. Okay. So let's just go ahead and do the spacing, just because we did on all the other two-liners. Not that my code looks pretty, but I'll make it look slightly less ugly. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to minimize that. And then this dot equals this dot bind this. So many thises. Do not like that aspect of JavaScript. So far, I don't know jack shit about it, but, you know, so far I don't like that aspect of it. All right, so let's see if that actually works, and if it compiles, and if it doesn't give us any issues. So it goes back here, this goes back there. Cool. So that will, I mean, obviously there are so many other pages that I've got to create, so that's not going to be present in the actual function or the actual product. I mean, the initial home page that I've got right now is just a landing page for advertisement. It's to take you back to the YouTube video and show you where the Kickstarter is, all of that fun stuff. So obviously that won't be present in the final version. It's just in the quote-unquote marketing homepage version of it right now. I'm not asked what this is, really. Good question. Just kidding. You can go to SketchyReq.com. Check that out. That has a YouTube video with a link to a Kickstarter. It'll tell you all about it. But the long and short of it is, in all kinds of information security realms, you've got to go fetch malware from sketchy, I guess, kind of like sketchy domains. So if I got to go to sketchydomain.com, there are various different ways that I can do that with various different levels of operational security. So I can go grab a separate laptop, boot up a VM, jump into a VPN that I hopefully trust, and then grab it from that site with a VPN and a virtual box on a separate laptop, then transfer it from the virtual box to the laptop or straight to a hard disk, if that's the way that you do it, and then transfer it over to my other laptop that I use to actually reverse it. That's annoying as hell. Some people just rely on VPNs. That's less annoying, but also less safe, because you've got a single point of failure in operational securities. So if you just rely on just the VPN, you've got to hope that the VPN is trustworthy. You've got to hope that the actor that you're targeting hasn't actually like infiltrated the VPN. You've got to hope that the VPN is coded in a safe manner, all of this other stuff. So what SketchyReq does is every time you actually make a request on a URL, it spins up a dedicated VPS. It grabs the file for you, hands it back to you, and then detonates the VPS. So once the VPS is gone, there's nothing for the actor to actually find. That IP address isn't linked to that VPS anymore. So the footprint that you leave, A, is completely detached from you. It's just attached to SketchyReq, the service. And B, the footprint is gone as soon as you actually grab the file. So the kind of structure that it follows is zero trust. You don't have to trust me. You don't have to trust your VPN, anything like that. It's going to detonate the VPS. That's really the only thing that you've got to trust. And if you don't trust that, if you think that I'm just spinning up a VPS or if I'm just basically running it through a VPS, it really doesn't matter because I'm going to follow a close to zero logging principle on this. So if you make a request, then it's not going to be tied to you in any way in my log. So if they somehow manage to track it down to the VPS, if I am completely lying and I'm not detonating the VPS afterwards, they discover my backend server that's actually spinning up the VPSs. Then they hack into the backend server and they, find the databases. If they read through all of the information in those databases, they're not going to find any information to log it back to you. There is some trust involved with that. That's why it's more like a close to zero trust model, but it's a little bit closer than VPN company saying, trust us, we're not going to screw you. So that's pretty much what the product is itself. I don't know if that was even a decent explanation of it, but yeah, that's what it is. Is Atom used for Java? Atom can be used for Java. I absolutely love Atom. It also can be an IDE. There are a bunch of plugins that you can get for it to make it an IDE. I don't use them for much, but Atom is definitely my preferred text editor. So yeah, I hope that helped explain some things, Horan. And if you want a link to the Kickstarter, I'll drop that in chat too. Yeah, so the process for actually grabbing malware, it's different for each person. So, you're not going to have everybody follow the same exact workflow. And that's kind of like another goal of this is to kind of, perfect the workflow behind that. So, my company follows a certain workflow for grabbing malware from malicious domains, and other companies follow a completely different one. Some of them have they have like on-premise versions of what I'm building right now, but this is going to kind of standardize it, hopefully, if enough people use it. So that's essentially what it is. But yeah, like I said, there's a video that explains it in a really ugly, but I guess kind of more readable and more understandable manner than my random rants at 10 o'clock at night. All right, so we've got the buttons. Let's go ahead and very quickly stylize them. And I'm going to do it the ugly way. Let's see. Let's do login button. We're just going to yoink all of this. We're gonna apply it to the home button. The class of the home button is homepage button. Homepage button. Homepage button hover. Yoink all of this. And then we're going to do the same thing with, I think it's submit URL dash button. Yoink all of this. And we're essentially just going to stylize all of the buttons the exact same way. There's probably a better way to do this. Dot submit URL dash button. And that's going to be the hover. I could definitely do this a more efficient way by just applying the same stylization to all of the buttons instead of doing all of the buttons individually. But here I am, not doing it the correct way. Fucking sucks. Alright, so yeah, those are stylized. Well, submit apparently is not. Cool. Let's submit URL. Oh. Did I do? Oh. Might want to actually write out hover. There we go. So all of the buttons are stylized the same exact incredibly ugly way. So, to the 10 of you who have decided to tune in at the very end of the stream, what we've done is we've taken it from an incredibly ugly page and made it a slightly less ugly page. We have added a Go Home button to take us back to the home page. We've added check marks to input default values. Pretty neat. Hopefully I will be able to download the full VOD off of Twitch, because I wasn't able to record for some reason. But you can find me on YouTube. If I am able to do it, you can find me here, if I can ever get to the link. I really need to figure out how to do a, like, really fancy... Oh, music has been paused for ages and you guys didn't tell me. Come on, chat. So here's my YouTube channel. You can follow me there. It's the ugliest link ever. I really need to get a custom link. Let me go ahead and go back to the input fields, because they look kind of ugly right now with the text justified wrong. Your voice is sufficient. Chad, you're so sweet. Let's see. Need to go back to the input. Sign up box input. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Sign up box input. That's what we're looking for. Center there. Oh, maybe it's field. That's a container. That's what we're looking for. Centered there. And centered here. I just think that looks a little bit better. I don't know what y'all think. It looks slightly better. Yeah, so now all of the URLs are inputted from the center, so are the locations there. Still need to figure out this fucking gap. Like, is it just me, or does this not bother anybody else? The fact that it's off-centered in this gap right here. But the only way to fix that is to off-center something else. And then SketchyReq isn't centered on this either. Oh, this is why I don't do front-end dev, because of shit like this just making me angry constantly. Alright, well, probably gonna sign off. Next stream is going to be, I'm going to make sure that I've got this right. It sticks out to the left, but not to the right. Yeah, it's irritating. You're right, actually. I'm even more bothered. However, that looks fixable. Okay, I've got to get off in like 5 minutes or less. Next stream is going to be, we're going to get this right, I promise. I will be posting all of the schedules on my Twitter here. They will be in the pinned tweet every Sunday. Next tweet is going to be on Thursday, so day after tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's going to be a longer stream, going until 12 o'clock p.m. instead of 10 o'clock p.m. It actually might be a little bit longer than that, but it definitely won't be shorter. So you can catch the stream again on Thursday, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. And hopefully I'll actually have some more shit to figure out, because it's going to be a longer stream, so I want to like actually work on some really cool big stuff. Yep, thank you guys for signing on. You guys have been amazing. Actually kept it pretty damn entertaining. Take it easy, and I will see you Thursday.